My Littleton group leader family. Hey, happy October, happy fall. We're here. We're on the other side of group launch, and we have a bunch of new leaders that have joined us. So amazing. And here we go into another season of group life. Man, I am so thankful to be with you in this journey, and I just want to honor you all right off the bat and just thank you for what you do. Truly, I don't say it enough, but you are all the shepherds of this church and have taken this pastoral responsibility in your homes and out and about in our communities to love the people of our church. And it's incredible what you do, truly. And I know it's a lot, but man, I just want to say thank you. And and just set like a little bit of heart and vision as we go into this next season ahead. And so, man, for those of you that are new, and even those of you that maybe have new members in your group for the first time in a long time, I just want to bring to mind the call to vulnerability, and that it's something that needs to happen with familiarity, right? And I want you to be patient with yourselves and patient with your group members most of all. But man, if you think about it, everyone has to challenge themselves and push into the uncomfortable. You are doing that as a group leader, right? And so are the members of your group. And I think maybe a tangible example that comes to mind for some of us at some point in time in our lives is the analogy of like physical fitness. Right? We'll never grow stronger if we aren't pushing our limits, or if we are not intentionally pushing ourselves to stretch and break down, because man, that's how muscle is built. But while the Apostle Paul in 1 Timothy chapter 4 says that physical training is of some value, he charges Timothy with the call to train himself in godliness, which has value in every way and holds promise for this life and the life to come. And so to just kind of level the playing field with you, and then even to communicate this with your group members, building these sorts of relationships, opening up, and just getting real with where we're at and what we're wrestling with, it requires training, right? It requires learning, and truly it's a call to practice. And so a lot of my heart as the group's guy, and as some of you know from my own story, I've just had to learn, like, you can't do this alone. You know, we were not designed to do this alone. We were never meant to do this alone. And so, early on in my faith, I thought I got pretty far by myself. But, even personally for me, I could have never found like actual lasting freedom and wholeness outside of an intentional and confessional community. And, I love Dr. Kurt Thompson. He's a clinical psychiatrist, author of Anatomy of the Soul. He says it like this: because I have the bent for doing life on my own, how I want to do it, when I want to do it, I will naturally move in a direction that moves me away from you. I have to, with intention, come to be with you and you with me, because evil counts on isolating us to do its work. And so, if I can share just one quick thing with you, something that I just studied leading up to Men's Night this past week, which was just epic. Men, got to get there, all right? Women, beloved, it's coming soon. Make sure you register. It's going to be awesome. But man, one of the most compelling studies that I found when it comes to relationships is this study that Harvard has done called the Harvard Study of Adult Development. This has been going on since 1934. Yes, 90 years, where they have taken Harvard graduates and teenagers from low-income situations in Boston, and that study pool have been like, yes, you can study me for my entire life. And so, man, these researchers have like tracked multiple things, from DNA samples to psychological problems to what jobs people ended up taking, obviously what the relationships look like, if they got married, and then even in their death. Fascinating enough, 25 of those people actually like donated their brains to the program after they died. Ugh. Happy October. No, but out of all this data that they collected over the last 90 years, right, one thing stood out, and even to the surprise of the researchers, But the thing that stood out to them most of all was that strong relationships matter more than anything else. They affect the outcome of the lives, our lives, more than IQ, more than social class, more than the amount of money that they made. And yeah, out of all the metrics that they tracked, relationships clearly and definitively had the most bearing on life satisfaction. So let's bring this home. As you think about like the next 6 months of your life, maybe even the next year of your life in this group season, let alone, what do you see as the best use of your time? Is it maybe reading the Bible all the way through? Or is it, getting that home reno project finally done? Or is it getting that business idea off the ground? Or is it even, just spending more time at home with your kids? Like, all of these things are good things, yes. But the best use of your time, in terms of how it will impact your life, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, it's been verifiably shown to be investing and deepening your relationships. Funny enough, the director and co-collaborator of that study coined this term, social fitness. They said it should be treated as, talked about, and invested in just like physical fitness, because relationships atrophy. Even the building blocks of how you develop relationships atrophy, just like your muscles do if they're not exercised. And so you must consistently invest in the relationships around you, because there are actual health risks. Sean talked about it a couple weeks ago, that exist both emotionally, spiritually, and yes, even physically. The people of that study, they died earlier if they didn't have really close relationships. And so, this is what you all are cultivating. And I know that it's hard, and I know that it's vulnerable, and I know that it's messy. But it is so, so good that you are extending yourself to not only be known, but to know and see and value other people right where they're at. And I think that's all I got for you. I know that sometimes these new friendships are kind of hard, but friendships start one small step at a time. And so you all are doing it. I am praying for you, and I'm here for you. All right, y'all. Grace and peace.